Only one thinks it's somewhat a choice, little bit. The rest think, nope, not a choice. What do I think? Of course it's a choice. Coach Greg and his Obesity a Choice. Are people born to be overweight or obese? Is it a choice? Can they do anything about it? Today's video, we're not only going to give you my opinion, we're going to listen to people who are obese themselves and tell you what do they think. Do they think it's their fault? Do they blame their parents? Did they choose the wrong parents? Well, let's check out this video and find out.
There is nothing that enrages me more than fat models.
Well, that's a little bit much. Why are you actually upset by obese models? That upsets you? What is wrong with people?
I don't like the celebration of morbid obesity.
And celebrating morbid obesity. Well, I don't like that. I don't think we should celebrate people who are out of shape. We shouldn't make it look like it's a great thing. Hey, let's celebrate. You're taking 20 years off your life because your BMI's over 40. Tolerated, yes. Respected, sure. But not celebrated. And being plus size is a choice. It's a choice. As in you can choose to not be overweight or you can choose to be overweight. Let's see what they say. Okay, of 6 people, 5 think it's not a choice. Only 1 thinks it's somewhat a choice, little bit. The rest think, nope, not a choice. What do I think? Of course it's a choice. It's not a choice. You're choosing to eat, and the more food you eat at a surplus, you gain weight. When you're born, you're not 300 pounds. If you get to 300 pounds, you choose to do so by eating. Not saying it's hard to get motivated to go for a walk, do 150 minutes of cardio a week. Not saying any of that. But of course it's a choice.
Some people try to be plus size. Like there's like lots of people in the gay community that are called like eaters and feeders. So people do try to be bigger.
So he's saying he only disagrees with it because some people are eating on purpose to get fat on purpose because they want to be fat on purpose. It's still a choice. Yeah, if you overeat, stuff yourself and force feed and you become fat, you chose that. But even if you don't, I still think it's a choice. You're still choosing to eat too much. Even if you're not doing it on purpose, you're still choosing to eat too many calories.
It was a choice for me to say, well, I don't want to work out 8 hours a day every day and hate what I look like to be skinnier, so I'm going to let myself eat more than a quarter cup of white rice today.
So the girl who says I somewhat agree said, well, I choose to just eat what I want and not exercise, not go to the gym because I don't want to do those things. And so what if people are going to make fun of me? I'm choosing to overeat. Well, to me, that's an answer of, yeah, strongly agree. Clearly, it's a choice for her. She's saying, I overeat and I choose to do so. I choose not to do all that exercise. I don't want to. That makes it a choice.
Society, especially in America, we have this idea that, oh yeah, all fat people ate themselves that way.
You did. You can't become morbidly obese without over-consuming calories. Calories in, calories out. Oh, all people who are obese, they ate themselves that way. She disagrees with, how did you become obese? By not eating? Oh, I didn't choose it. I skipped dinners for a month and I gained 10 pounds. It's not my fault. We're not talking about height here. I'm 5'6". I want to be 6 feet tall. I can't eat a certain food. I can't go and exercise and stretch and grow 6 inches. I have no choice. I can't choose to be taller. Do I choose to have muscle? Nope, it's not a choice. I just go to the gym and I happen to grow big muscles. Well, Coach Greg, if you lift weights, progressive overload, train harder than the last time, your muscles are going to grow. No, I don't choose that. If you lift weights and you keep training, your muscles are going to grow. If you overeat calories, your body fat is going to increase. It's the same thing. Just because you don't want to gain weight doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. If you overeat those calories, you're gaining weight. So if you like going to the gym, lifting weights and training hard, and you don't want your muscles to grow, and they grow, you can't say, oh, I didn't choose it. By lifting weights, you're choosing to have bigger muscles. By eating too much food, you're choosing to have more body fat. How is that hard to understand? How is that so difficult to understand?
They just sit at home and they're lazy and they don't do anything and they ate themselves that way.
I never assumed that at all. I just assumed that you eat too many calories, that you're in a calorie surplus, because you can't break the laws of thermodynamics.
In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
If you consume too many calories, you take in more calories than you burn off, you automatically gain fat. That's just how it works. You overeat, you gain fat. Never said it's because you're lazy. Doesn't mean you don't work out. You might ride your bike an hour a day, lift weights an hour a day. Problem is you eat 6,000 calories. I lift weights and bike ride all the time. I eat 3,500 calories. If I ate 5,000 calories, I would be obese, despite the fact that I have a lot of muscle and I do cardio. So when I see someone who's obese, I don't assume anything. I just know they're overeating calories.
They don't take into account people who have a disease. They don't take into account people who work out and their body is just built that way.
They don't take into account that they have a disease and they work out and their body just doesn't work that way? Do we need to take that into account? If you are in a calorie deficit, you would lose weight regardless of the disease and regardless of how you're working out. If you eat fewer calories than you burn, you lose weight. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter
about your genetics. Doesn't matter how many fat cells you have, hormones, and so on. If you undereat calories, you will lose weight.
The average person who's judging people don't take into account, and they just look at someone and they say, oh, you're fat and you're not doing anything about it.
We don't have to say you're fat and you don't do something about it. We're saying you're obese, you're clearly eating too much. That's it. You're in a caloric surplus. That is it. That is where we draw the line. We don't have to assume anything. There are people who are morbidly obese who can outrun me, beat me in a triathlon. Doesn't mean they don't work out. What it means is they're eating too much food.
It is possible that people have eaten themselves to that point, but then you look at why did that happen? There's trauma, there's rough coping mechanism.
Regardless of the trauma and the coping mechanisms and all of this stuff, you still choose to eat the food. Unless you were held captive and forced to eat. Forced to eat. You choose to. If you choose to eat to cope with stress, to cope with some trauma that happened in your life, to cope with anything, you're still choosing that. In the same way, if someone goes for a walk, you're choosing to go walk. Whether it's to cope, to alleviate stress, whatever, you're choosing that. If you sit on the couch and watch TV and don't do cardio, you choose that. If you go for a walk, you choose that. If you eat a cheeseburger, you're choosing the cheeseburger. If you want to hold the bacon and the cheese on the cheeseburger to have less calories, then you're choosing to eat less calories, which will help you lose weight. So regardless of why, it's irrelevant because you're still choosing the behavior which is eating too many calories, resulting in weight gain.
There's so many different things that can lead to somebody resorting to that and then eating themselves into this situation. Because I know that's what happened to me. I didn't choose it, but it happened.
You did. You choose to eat. Unless you did it in your sleep or someone forced you to do it, you were in a hospital bed, in a coma, being force-fed in a tube, a feeding tube. You chose to eat it. Why do you have to keep making excuses on why it's someone else's fault and not just take ownership yourself? Hey, I own this. I ate too much. I was hungry. I ate the wrong food choices. I didn't do enough cardio. I own it. It's my fault. And I love my body enough to do something about it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to do cardio. I want to exercise. I want to get fit and eat healthy. If you decide to do something about it, you can make that change. Every single person on this earth can lose weight. If you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. It's not possible to not lose weight. If you want to lose weight, it is not possible to not lose it here on this planet. Here on Earth, we're not from Krypton. We can't break the laws of thermodynamics. So anyone watching this video, if you're morbidly obese, whatever, overweight, you want to lose it, you can. Not saying it's easy, but you can do it. You want help? Get my Circle Diet book. 160 pages, over 25 years of research that I went into this. How to lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life. Get the book, click the link in the description. You want recipes? I have several cookbooks sold. Tens of thousands of these books help tens of thousands of people change their life. Lose the weight, keep it up, hundreds of pounds. Finally, a diet that you can follow and stick to for the rest of your life. High volume foods that taste amazing. No longer are you starving hungry. You can eat the foods that you love and lose weight. Why? Because it's calories in, calories out. If you're eating in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. Get the freaking cookbooks, the Circle Diet book. Get those, and you can lose weight. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IP Pro. Please watch the Bloops, Harder Than Last Time supplements, including Turkesterone. Of course, the cookbooks, the Circle Diet book, training books, coaching plans by me and my team. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm, and until next time, I am out.